Syracuse QB Steve Angeli has torn Achilles, sources say. Syracuse quarterback Steve Angeli will miss the remainder of the season after tearing his Achilles in the Orange's authoritative win at Clemson on Saturday, sources told ESPN. An MRI revealed the Achilles tear, which will end Angeli's season. Despite leaving in the third quarter on Saturday, Angeli ranks number 2 in the country in passing yards. His 1,316 yards are 4 yards behind Baylor's Sawyer Robertson. With the injury coming in the 4th game of the year, he is expected to be able to apply for an additional year of eligibility via a medical redshirt. That would give him 2 more years of eligibility. Angeli is a first-year starter at Syracuse after transferring from Notre Dame following spring practice, winning the job in fall camp in a close battle with Ricky Collins. Angeli took over an offense that led the nation in passing last year with Kyle McCord under center and transitioned seamlessly. He has 10 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, and his 156 attempts are 3rd in the country. Syracuse will turn to Collins, an LSU transfer who played well in place of Angeli in the second half. He threw a touchdown pass and completed 3 of 8 passes for 34 yards as Syracuse played conservative to salt away the 34-21 win. Angeli had torched Clemson for 244 yards and 2 touchdowns before his injury. Syracuse hosts Duke on Saturday, which will be the first career start for Collins. SEC calls out refs for missing Oklahoma's hideout tactic, and SEC officiating crew failed to identify a hideout tactic on Oklahoma's second-quarter touchdown in the 11th-ranked Sooners' Week 4 win over number 22 Auburn, the conference announced late Saturday night. Oklahoma led 10-3 after quarterback John Mater connected with Isaiah Sategna for a 24-yard touchdown with 10:45 remaining in the first half Saturday. Before the snap, Sategna had walked toward the Sooners' sideline appearing to feign a substitution, but he remained on the field before streaking down the sideline through the Tigers' secondary undetected for the scoring reception. The Sooners went on to beat the Tigers 24-17 after Mater's go-ahead rushing touchdown with 4:54 left in the game. Hours later, the SEC said in a statement that its officiating crew did not properly interpret the action as a hideout tactic and said the Sooners should have been assessed an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that would have wiped out Sategna's touchdown. If properly officiated, the second down play should have resulted in an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty of 15 yards assessed from the previous spot, the conference said. Appropriate accountability will be applied without additional comment. The statement referred to NCAA Football Rule G2, Article 2, related to unfair tactics. No simulated replacements or substitutions may be used to confuse opponents, the rule states. No tactic associated with substitutions or the substitutions process may be used to confuse the opponent. This includes any hideout tactic with or without a substitution. After the game, Oklahoma offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle referred to the call as a tempo play. Sooners coach Brent Venables similarly knocked down the suggestion that it had been a case of deception, saying Oklahoma confirmed with an official that Sategna was lined up and that everything's good and legal. However, Auburn coach Hugh Freeze made his feelings clear afterward. The Tigers' sideline appeared to notice Sategna's pre-snap movement, and Freeze said he attempted to call a timeout before the ball was snapped while noting that warnings against using such tactics had been clearly emphasized before the season. They said they didn't hear us trying to call timeout, Freeze said. We were instructed all off-season about deception plays and things. So we'll see what's said. I really don't know what will be said about that. Shortly after, the SEC released a rare statement criticizing its officials and promising further accountability. The move marked at least the second high-profile officiating issue over the opening month of the 2025 regular season after the Big 12 reprimanded one of its officiating crews for failing to identify a rules violation in Missouri's 42-31 win over Kansas on September 6. QB Arch Manning gets swagger back as number 8 Texas rolls a US-10, Texas. Arch Manning passed for 309 yards and 3 touchdowns in his sharpest game of the season as number 8 Texas cruised to a 55-0 win over Sam Houston on Saturday night. Manning was 18 of 21 passing and ran for 2 first-half touchdowns. He connected with Ryan Wingo for touchdowns of 53 and 13 yards in the third quarter before leaving the game with Texas, 3-1, leading 45-0. It felt good, Manning said. I wish I could have done that the last 3 weeks. But I'm glad we did it tonight. Got the ball in my guys' hands and let them go to work. Manning needed a confidence builder after a poor start to the season and got one against the overmatched Bearcats, 0-4. His passes looked crisp and decisive, and after his first touchdown run of the game, he stood and flexed over a defender before a game official broke them up. His Texas teammates were glad to see it. He got his swagger back, Texas senior safety Michael Taft said. Everybody knew that it was in there. What he showed tonight is what we expect. Manning said he worried he would get a taunting penalty and that he quickly apologized to the game official. "Probably a little much there. My mom was pretty mad about it," Manning said. "I think it was some built-up frustration for the past few weeks." Manning had come into the game completing just 55% of his passes. The preseason betting favorite for the Heisman Trophy had promised several times during the week that he would start playing better. At one point Saturday night, Manning completed 14 passes in a row. "When he plays a little looser and is free, that's the best version of Arch," Texas coach Steve Sarkisian said. "He got going and started throwing the ball, started using his legs. You could feel the bounce in his step on the field." Manning said he won't concern himself with the national chatter about him this week or the critics who dismissed him after the first few games. "I'm not really worried about what anyone thinks of the narratives. I'm just trying to play ball, get wins. That's most important, especially going into sec play." "Right," he said. Florida stumbles in Billy Napier's worst offensive showing in MI Gardens, FLA. Florida quarterback DJ Lagway guaranteed the Gators would play better on offense after a 26-7 loss to Miami on Saturday, following the worst offensive showing under embattled coach Billy Napier. The Gators had 141 total yards, their fewest in a game since 1999 against Alabama, and went 0-for-13 on third down, their worst showing since 1998 against Florida State. Lagway, a week after throwing 5 interceptions in a loss to LSU, went 12 of 23 for 61 passing yards. According to ESPN research, he totaled -3 air yards on his 12 completions, as 7 of his passes were caught behind the line of scrimmage. Asked about his struggles after leading Florida to a 6-1 record last year as the starter, Lagway said, "It's been hard, but let me tell you all something, we're going to get things changed, for sure. I can guarantee that. This is not acceptable at all. I'm not going to sit here and lie to y'all and make this seem like this is okay. This isn't okay. We've got to play better football, and it starts with me." Lagway missed all of spring football and was limited.